Well, Tory Lanez, who's been locked up over the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation, he actually got stabbed in prison 14 times.
I heard about that.
And apparently, because I remember at first, I tweeted, I'm like, yeah, I guess Tory is still trying to play like he's a tough guy, which is why he was in general population, and this is why this happened. He should have been in PC. Come to find out, I was wrong because he actually was in PC. Because the guy that stabbed him was a child molester slash murderer. Like the guy that stabbed him up had like a I don't know like a 13-year-old girlfriend who he ended up killing when he was like I don't know 25 or something like that.
Mm.
And so they were both in PC. So you're here with the celebrities and the child molesters and the snitches and the gang dropouts and everything else like that. Apparently, doesn't mean this place is any less dangerous.
Yeah, somebody told me a little bit about it. I heard on the street that somebody might have been in jail with him, and they were saying that Tory got at the guy's girlfriend in the visiting room.
Yeah. So the story is a little convoluted, but what I heard, which is similar to what you just said, was this guy, this Mexican inmate, had like a girlfriend on the outside. By the way, how common is that? Guys are doing life to have girlfriends on the outside.
It's common.
It's common.
Women don't have, it ain't a lot of men out here. It's more women than men anyway. So, if you can get you a man in jail, you have him all to yourself.
Right. What's actually funny, right, is I had this guy, Hector Bravo. He was a California prison guard for like 16 years or something. And I talked to him about this, and he said that what was really common is a lot of these like lifers and guys with these long sentences, they'd have a bunch of girlfriends, right? They'd have like 4 or 5 different girlfriends. So they'd write them letters. It'd be the exact same letter with a different name on the top. And he said what the prison guards would do to fuck with them is that they would because every letter has to be opened before it goes out. So they would open the letters and then switch them up. So the letter to Judy would go to Martha, and the Martha letter would go to Lisa. So these girls would open up these letters and have the wrong name on top. And, all hell would break loose.
Wow.
So in the old days, the prison guards, the correction officers, what they used to do is it's mandatory that the officers read the inmate's mail as it goes outgoing. Mm-hmm. Well, an inmate will write 3 different women, same exact letter, just change the name. So in the past, you may have had correctional officers put the wrong letter in the wrong envelope.
Oh, on purpose?
On purpose, and shoot it out. That would happen all the time.
So Mary would get a letter that said Judy.
Hey, Judy, you're the love of my life.
Judy would get a Catherine letter, and
absolutely.
Catherine, God knows what she's getting.
That's a thing.
Wow.
That's a thing.
That's crazy.
So the story goes, I don't know whether this was on the phone or in person like you may have heard, but apparently...
They said it was in person.
It was in person. Okay, so maybe
I think this guy was in jail with him.
Okay, right. So it was a visiting situation, and I guess the girl flirted with Tory. So Tory, not really understanding prison politics and really working out the situation, thought, oh, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to go to this guy and say, hey, man, your girlfriend was kind of flirting with me. So I guess the guy spoke to the girl, and she said, no, that's not what happened. He was flirting with me. So now you got this guy doing life in prison, alone with his thoughts, for a couple of days. And at the end of that thinking process, he grabs... Have you seen the video?
No.
Oh, it's crazy. It's an attempted murder. 14 times.
Wow.
He's just like stabbing like over and over and over again. This was like a warning stab. This was like, I'm trying to kill you stabbing. Have you seen this type of thing happen?
Will people get stabbed?
Well, like over girls and like this type of situation.
Yeah. Anything could take a guy off in jail over the telephone. I saw a guy, well, I didn't actually see the actual assault, but it was a guy in the TV room and it was over the soap operas.
Huh.
And the guy told him, don't turn the TV when the soap operas is on.
Guy wouldn't turn the TV.
And he turned it again and he was sitting there watching the TV and the guy hit him in the head with a mop wringer. And blood was everywhere. So, when you're in jail, anything could tick somebody off because you don't ever know what they're going through. It could be your girlfriend on the other end of the phone. You know, I done seen guys break the phone, and it gets ugly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure in retrospect, once he thought about the situation, he probably should just kept it all to himself. You know, because it's like, okay, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to tell him this piece of information, but Tory's probably not working out what the next 2 or 3 steps are going to be.
Right.
You know, what's going to happen when he doesn't believe?
Well, they say the guy came. They say that he got the approval from the black community to move on Tory.
Really?
Yeah.
So the black gangs in that prison said, "Go ahead and stab him up."
Yeah, gave him the green light.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was in
He
there
violated.
That Tory violated.
Yeah, Tory violated in the visiting room. You know, you don't be getting at people in the visiting room.
Oh. Oh, so maybe there was some truth to what the girl was saying. Maybe Tory was kind of trying to flirt with her.
From what this guy was telling me that Tory initiated it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That Tory actually was flirting. Man, I'm sure after that first stabbing, Tory's probably thinking like,
I might be able to find out who that was told me that. You know, it didn't really interest me, but
yeah.
You know, I still stay in the hood. So, you know, I stay in Denver Lane hood. So they come by and they give me the scoop on what's going on. But
yeah, I mean, all of the major problems in Tory's life revolves around a woman. Every single problem. From going to prison to getting stabbed in prison to the way people perceive him to the whole nine is all based on a woman.
I think they punctured his lung or something.
Both lungs got punctured. He had to be airlifted to a hospital because the facility in the prison wasn't going to be enough to save his life. And this is when he started like this whole media push where he like released all the stuff from the case, which from what Megan's lawyers are saying was all presented to the jury anyways. You know, he's just trying to sway the media. But I think that there was a level of, I need to get the hell up out of here. I need to just leave. This is too crazy for me. And I guess what happens is when that happens, like there's a file where these two people are considered enemies and the prison is required to move them out of.
Right, separation.
To separate them in different prisons.
Well, from what they was telling me that it's going to follow him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because you just bring back the conversation. The guy was telling me, I was really kind of like,
wow.
But they saying it's going to follow him.
So he has a green light on him for flirting with a guy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
So he can't apologize his way out of it. He can't pay his way out of it.
Nope.
Really? Okay, so hypothetically, is there one person who makes this decision, or is it a group of people, or?
Well, you know, with like the Mexican gangs, they usually have a shot caller.
The Mexican Mafia.
Right.
Right, that's at the top.
Blacks don't have no shot caller.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't have no shot caller with, there might be somebody that run the Crips, who kind of like the shot caller for the Crips, and there's one for the Bloods, then the Muslims. So if you can't get them to kind of like come together, then you kind of out on your own. And from what I understand, they came and had a meeting with him and told him what happened. And everybody like threw their hands up and said they didn't have nothing to do with it.
Oh, so the guy that stabbed him met with all the shot callers, and they all said, "Okay, go ahead, do what you got to do."
Yep.
We don't care if this guy's a rapper, or singer, or whatever.
Right, he violated.
It's a violated, different set of rules. And you're saying the next prison he goes to, there's still a green light on him.
Yep.
For that type of thing. It's that serious.
That's what the guy told me.
But I mean, everything can be worked out. If there's enough money, if there's enough pull, whatever. At some point, can't Tory fix this?
He probably could. I mean, and like you say, anything can be worked out, But it's just a matter, does he know how to do it? Does he has the wits to put together what it's going to take to get him out of that situation?